Some of y'all about to be real mad at me, but it must be said.
Back it up. I put on a show, I be acting up. If he ain't got no bread, I'm packing up. I need a rich nigga with a bankroll just so I can add it up. Say ho, my nigga got him an a-hole. He gon' listen and do what I say so. He know I'm only after the.
Hi, I'm Tassie and welcome back to my channel. If you're a return subscriber, welcome home, and if you're a new subscriber, make yourself at home by clicking that subscribe button. So I know y'all seen the title of this video and probably thought I have lost my marbles. But I haven't. I promise I haven't. The thing that inspired me to make this video is that I see a whole lot of our main social medias starting to replicate a lot of what used to be on Tumblr. Not to mention, it's been a lot of things with different platforms that have just been like, you know, getting under everyone's skin. Like, it's always something wrong with something. They're always doing something that nobody asked them to do, giving updates, and then it's like low-key don't even work. Like, it's just no. But let me put it out there, I am not sponsored by anybody. Nobody is paying me to tell y'all this information. Tumblr is not paying me to tell you this information. This is not a campaign or nothing. This is literally a video that I just decided to make for fun, and it's all personal opinion, nothing more, nothing less. That is literally all this is. To be honest, I don't even care if y'all make a Tumblr or not. I don't care if y'all reactivate y'all Tumblrs or not. Like, it literally will make me no difference at all whatsoever. This video is literally just my opinion. Just my opinion, nothing more, nothing less. But if I start to notice that there is a change and more people start coming to Tumblr, I want to check. I would like a check. 100%. And just a quick disclaimer, I'm not doing like no satanic ritual. I promise I'm not. See, here's what happened. I don't know how it happened because all of my windows are closed. I didn't even put my fan in the window or nothing. And a bee just came into my room earlier while I was trying to record. Embarrassed me, okay? I posted the humiliation on my TikTok, so go check out my TikTok. But anyways, this is me trying to get rid of it. That's sugar water, and that is a scented candle that smells a lot like some type of flower. I forget what kind of flower it smells like. It's one of my favorite candles, so I'm letting that burn, trying to attract the bee, but it's been about 2 hours, and the bee just disappeared. So I don't know where it went, but I'm gonna keep that out. I'm gonna just keep it out just in case, because like I don't have time for it. So yeah, with all that being said and done, let's get straight into the video. So I'm not gonna assume that everybody watching this video knows what Tumblr is or had a Tumblr before, so let me just give you a brief description of what Tumblr basically was. So Tumblr is a website made in 2007 by a man named David Karp. Its first intended purpose was to give everyday people freedom to create their own short-form blogs about pretty much anything that sparked their interest. Back in the early 2000s, having a blog was a really big thing, so this was actually a really good and creative idea, but it really wasn't supposed to move past that. There is no specific time when this boom happened, but basically out of nowhere, Tumblr just became this huge phenomenon, and it was way more than just a blog. Tumblr began to form communities from writers to artists, foodies, food critics, anything you can think of, everything in between. And if we're being honest, Tumblr also gave birth to a lot of social media influencers that we know today. Influencers including the most famous one, which is probably India Westbrooks and her family. Tumblr is literally their origin story. I briefly touched on Tumblr in my old video about what happened to the Kier Angels. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. That'll give you a little bit more insight on influencers. But yeah, people love to say that MySpace is where it came from, but if we're being 100% honest, MySpace was predominantly for artists and a lot of people that became reality stars. But as far as like social content creators, people that literally got paid to just be on the internet 24/7, that all originated on Tumblr, and back then you couldn't even monetize that. You just had to be thankful for being Tumblr famous. But even then, being Tumblr famous definitely did get you a little something. Tumblr became such a big success and such a thriving community that it had its own inside jokes, its own lingo, and even though it was widespread, it somehow still gave you a sense of exclusivity. Because even though it seemed like everyone knows about Tumblr, everyone truly did not know about Tumblr. everyone didn't have a Tumblr. So everything about the site was just so amazing, especially because you could customize your site to look like whatever you wanted it to look like. Aesthetics, listen, Tumblr is literally the birthplace of aesthetics. Nobody knew what an aesthetic was until Tumblr stepped on the scene. But despite the widespread success of Tumblr, Tumblr came crashing down within the span of a few years. So what happened? So there's multiple reasons as to why the downfall of Tumblr happened. I have to say personally, the first reason is the creation of Instagram. Now, like I said, Tumblr is the creator of aesthetics. Nobody knew what an aesthetic was, okay? Not throwing shade, not trying to make anybody feel bad about themselves, but being a Tumblr baddie, a Tumblr girl, a Tumblr boy, you had to be top tier conventionally attractive, for one. For two, your outfits had to be cute. Your poses, your filters, your little stickers and stuff, whatever you decided to do to your photos, that mattered. Everyone else was just casually throwing up duck lips and peace signs and calling it a day. Once again, nothing wrong with that. But you have to understand, being a Tumblr baddie was a completely different thing than half of the IG models that y'all hype to this day. I'm just putting it out there. Tumblr used to be the place for people to share their content as far as like their selfies and their outfits of the day and their kicks of the day. But when Instagram came on the scene, certain Tumblr famous people started to migrate towards Instagram because Instagram was mainly just pictures at that time. So people like the IG models that we see in today's day and age, various different digital media makers and artists, they started to gravitate towards Instagram because Instagram was a platform strictly for just uploading photos. Tumblr literally had it all. And at this time, the features weren't fully respected or even appreciated for that matter, simply because we never knew that in the future, half of these apps were pretty much gonna give us like, you know, trash updates. So even though Tumblr was mainly like a visual place to be, it wasn't mainly visual. So all of these Tumblr famous people and all of these artists that started on Tumblr started to migrate towards Instagram. And of course, when they go to Instagram, their followers are gonna go to Instagram as well. So that was the first step of a whole bunch of people leaving the app. The second reason is fandoms. A lot of people who dominated this app, they were a part of fandoms. Whether it was a TV show, a book series, a movie series, whatever you want to call it. People used to make all types of fan art, all types of edits, GIFs, all types of creativity. They even were able to like verbally communicate with their communities. It was so easy to find mutuals and reblog their content onto your blog. And even within these communities, there were people that were famous in their communities. But the thing about these fandoms is that everything comes to an end. Eventually, these people who usually are children are going to grow up and they're not going to be into this stuff as much anymore. Book series are going to come to an end. TV shows are going to come to the end or even get canceled. Movies are going to end. And that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy them anymore, but it's now just a chapter in your life. Coming back to that, it doesn't give you the same excitement as when you first seen it, when you first discovered it. So eventually people grew out of that phase of their lives where this one topic or this one TV or book series or boy band was just like their whole entire being. So now the activity in certain hashtags started to die down and people just kind of seen no reason to come back on the app anymore because that was really the only reason they were on the app to begin with. I can be honest and say I was a part of Team Mindless. I was a fangirl for Mindless Behavior. I still low-key keep tabs on them to this day. But I can be real and say that logging into Tumblr after they had broken up and after the tag, that's what we used to call it, after the tag had died down, it was just like, it wasn't the same. I still was on my Tumblr. I actually still use my Tumblr to this day. But I can be honest and say like Tumblr, it just didn't hit anymore. It just didn't hit like how it used to, like how it first felt when we first became a community and all the drama and all the rants and stuff like that. Like it's just not the same. Another reason why people left Tumblr, I have to say this is probably like a personal opinion, but I can say that a lot of faithful Tumblr users can agree. When David sold Tumblr to Yahoo, that app went in the garbage. It went in the garbage. Everything was destroyed after that. Every single thing about that place was just like, I don't want to do this anymore because it just feels like there's no reason. First of all, believe it or not, there used to not be ads on your dashboard. Yeah, there used to not be ads on your dashboard. Now it seems like there's an ad everywhere that you turn. And can we talk about how weird the ads are sometimes? Like, what is this? What is this? That makes no sense. But not only that, they started to try and make it a safer place, right? At this time, we didn't know why they were trying to make it a safe place, but we're gonna get into that next, right? But anyways, they were trying to make it a safer place or like a more child-friendly place or whatever. So they started censoring a lot of stuff. And majority of the stuff that they were trying to censor, it really was just like, was it worth it? Because this looks stupid. It looks really stupid. There even came a point in time where they were literally censoring anything that included the LGBTQ+ community. That was a huge problem. Because let's just say, like I said, Tumblr was a place of freedom and expression and just being loud and proud about whoever you were. There were a ton of people that discovered their sexualities on the internet. There were a ton of people that had never heard of the word pansexual and all these other terminologies, demisexual, all this stuff. They had never known what that was until they came to Tumblr. So it's fair to say that the LGBTQ+ community is one of the many building blocks that made Tumblr what it is, right? And you're censoring the same people that created you. Was that smart? It wasn't. And then they were censoring them as inappropriate content. Yeah. See, you messed up with that one. You messed up with that one. So voila, again, people left. Oh, not to mention that while they're trying to censor all these other people, can we talk about how these bots that are always typing explicit things just somehow thrive on the app now? Can we talk about that? You're censoring everyone else but them. Why? Why? That's a huge issue and it's still going on today, but okay. So this one right here is actually really hard to talk about because I just feel like I don't know who all was a victim of it, who all could have possibly stumbled upon this. Thankfully, I never seen it. I'm so happy for that. But the thing that really did Tumblr in the most was the fact that there was, let's say, a community of people, right? And in this community, they liked to share files and videos and pictures depicting minors in very inappropriate situations. I don't know when they came in. I don't know how long this had been going on. Because one thing that I know about Tumblr, there's so many different communities in Tumblr, but like literally if we ever heard of someone, you know, being weird or rude or disgusting or whatever, we definitely looked into that and we would be like, yeah, get this person off of here, report their page, etc., etc. So I don't know if they started to come in when more people started leaving. I personally think they came in once Yahoo had took over. I don't know. But to say the least, it basically became like an epidemic on the app. And that was basically large amounts of people that were a part of that community that were coming on there and basically sharing content on their pages openly. So that became a big problem. That became a huge problem because now this is legal. Now this is like, you know, it's not something to play with. Not to mention that if someone was to stumble upon that innocently, whether they were children themselves or whether they were adults or whatever, that literally could be a lawsuit. I don't know if somebody sued them for that already, but literally nobody consented into seeing basically illegal content. That's not okay. That is not okay by any means. And remember when I said earlier that they were trying to like censor a bunch of stuff and nobody knew why they were trying to make it a child-friendly place? Basically, they knew all along that this was an issue, but somehow, even though they're combating the issue, they weren't fixing the issue because it became very, very widespread and consistent. Blogs were not being deleted, taken down, reported to the FBI, or anything. This content was still being shared. It just seemed like when it became a big thing to the point where the victims themselves could point to their videos and be like, hey, that's me, that's when they decided to take action. That is really disturbing. That is extremely disturbing, especially because I've been on that site since I was like, what, 11 or 12 years old. That's really, really disgusting. So once this comes to light, they do another run of trying to like censor everything, right? But this is also where they messed up again. Tumblr has always been a space of freedom. Like literally, that was the gist of it all. Freedom to express yourself, whether that was your bare body, whether that was your any type of content you were putting out. So to chop it all up, there were some adult content creators, if you catch my drift, that were on the site, and that was the place where they made their money. That was where they went when they couldn't afford to make themselves a website. That was pretty much their portfolio. That was their bread and butter. This was before OnlyFans. This was before anything else. This was where a lot of people got their start. This was where a lot of people were getting paid. This is where a lot of people were attracting their audience and getting their clients and stuff like that. So instead of Tumblr fixing the issues of the community that is overly disgustingly obsessed with minors, they just said, we're not gonna have any type of content like that on our platform at all. It is strictly prohibited, and they basically took everything down. Everything was flagged. If you ever retweeted something and somebody was like, had a butt cheek out or something, you got your account flagged as inappropriate. If you do artwork, and the artwork is basically like, you know, how you would see the classical sculptures and some of them are shirtless or whatever, your account got flagged as inappropriate. And when it came to the adult content creators, they literally deleted their accounts. They deleted it. They reported every single thing that they ever posted and got their accounts deleted. So now people were definitely leaving because you just took basically their job away. You just took their way of making money away. And the people that were fans of some of these content creators, they're not going to be on this platform either because you took away something that they were coming here for in the first place. And if we're being honest, that was the only thing that was really keeping Tumblr alive for real. That was the only thing that was having people checking in still after all these years. Once that was done, and once it was found out that, hey, some of the content you were probably even looking at to begin with was probably a child, yeah, everyone left. Everyone left. And the fact that it was so bad to the point where they got deleted off of the App Store until they got their stuff together, that lets you know how big of a problem that actually was. And the fact that they probably were contributing to this for years, it really does disturb me. I'm not trying to be disrespectful or funny or nothing, but it is extremely telling. Like I said, I don't know how long this has been going on, but when David was in charge and David had ownership of this, we did not have this issue. This big industry comes in who is like one of the OGs of the internet, literally, and things like this just magically start to become a problem and it gets uncontrollable. Yeah, something about that just don't sit right with me. Listen, I'm not trying to defame anybody's character. I'm not trying to be funny acting by any means, but all I'm saying is that has always rubbed me the wrong way. Always, forever and always, still to this day, it does not make sense to me. So yeah, ultimately, that was the official demise of Tumblr. So with that being said, why is it that I feel like Tumblr deserves a second chance? I'm gonna be honest with you. Tumblr has literally everything that we've been asking all these other platforms to give to us. And every time we ask these platforms to give them to us, they always half-ass it. Or they just straight up don't listen to us. Like I said, Tumblr has always had the features that people are just now rolling out on their platforms. They were way ahead of their time. We just never appreciated it for what it was because we were just really dumb, naive kids that just wanted to see somebody make a Nike sign out of some fruit. Tumblr ain't for everybody, okay? I can't even explain why that was... I don't know. But no, seriously, Tumblr literally has all the things that all of these other apps are just now getting on the wave for. GIFs, been a thing. Audio messages, been a thing. Questions, been a thing. And like I said, OG influencers started on Tumblr. Aesthetics started on Tumblr. Tumblr literally has everything. And I mean everything. Not to mention chronological timeline. Yeah, ain't no algorithm. Chronological timeline. And when it comes to video sharing, there is no copyright infringement. To my knowledge, I don't even think there's a limit of what you can post on there. I think you can post a video as long as you want to. For YouTubers like me, we can literally share our YouTube videos on there and y'all can watch it on there and it will still count towards our views on YouTube. That's been a thing since 2011. You can customize your own photo layout. There's no swiping. All of your pictures are right there, but you get to choose how you want it to be. Do you want 3 of them next to each other? Do you want them all going down in a row? Do you want to make a grid of stuff and show like the details of your outfit? The caption can be as long as you want it to. You can turn yourself into a GIF. You literally can do whatever you want to do. And the hashtags, the most organized thing you have ever seen in your life. It now has an update where messages are easier than ever. You basically have your own inbox. On top of asking anonymous questions, on top of receiving fan mail. Y'all remember fan mail? You even get to join and even make your own group chats that you can share with either just your friends or publicly. The best thing about Tumblr back in the day, even still to this day, you could customize your profile to a T. For the longest, you couldn't do it on the app. I forget when they updated that, but you can customize your app and you can customize your website. My app and my website look completely different from each other, but they still give off the same vibe. The privacy settings are a godsend. Honestly, honest to God, the privacy settings are immaculate. There's certain settings, if you really are an OG Tumblr user and you are that girl, where people can't even access your blog unless they have a passcode to it. Yeah. The fact that you can make multiple side blogs and it's so convenient to switch in between them. There's no logging out, there's no new passwords, new emails or nothing. You literally can just click and it's right there. They have a new update where you can have post notifications so you can follow all of your faves and be updated in real time when they post. They have a pin option. So whatever your favorite post is, whether it's a selfie or a quote or something, you can pin that at the top of your profile. I feel like it can still be very useful to those that are still social media influencers or are striving to be one. Like I said, there's no algorithm at all. But let's talk about organic followers and organic growth. That is the best option. People can't see who you're following unless you allow them to, but they also can't see your follower account. So this person in your head might be famous to you, but in reality, they probably only got like 300 followers. I feel like we are so consumed by numbers defining who we are as people and our relevancy in people's lives that's what really like disrupts people's peace when they go on social media and try to post anything. I never felt that way, but I noticed that a lot of people feel some type of way when they don't have a certain amount of likes or a certain amount of followers. On Tumblr, your follower count literally is not going to exist except to your eyes and your eyes only. People can't see who you follow unless you allow them to see it. So if you're following somebody who's a little bit questionable or someone who was canceled or you kind of like a freaky deaky and you don't want nobody to know that, ain't nobody gonna know that. It's all yours. It's all yours. Social activism, of course, it was born here. So many different ways to get your point across, whether you use quotes, write a whole essay if you want to, because baby, there's no characters. There's no character limit. You can talk as long as you want. You can write a whole book, a whole movie, a whole thesis, whatever. Another plus, you can actually schedule when you're going to post something. Yes, you can schedule when you are going to post something. You can schedule it for tomorrow. You can schedule it for next week. There's even a queue where if you want to post a specific post every single time at a specific time of the year, you are allowed to do that. Those things been in effect. We been had that. Your drafts, easily accessible. Literally keep as many thoughts as you want to yourself. Your archives, honey, listen. To my knowledge, I don't think the archives have a limit, but I'm able to go back to when I first joined Tumblr and look at the first thing that I ever posted, the first thing that I ever reblogged. It's all there. When it comes to the hashtags, people can find whatever your most used hashtag is. But not only that, let's say it's a day where you're reminiscing about that time in high school when you wore red hair. Literally just go up to your little magnifying glass, type in hashtag red hair, boom, it's there. It's there. There's also this part of the app now where you can actually take a picture of yourself, like almost like Snapchat, and you can draw on it. You can use as many filters as you want to. Like, you can just do the whole 9 yards. The only thing I can really say Tumblr doesn't have is stories. In all honesty, they're probably gonna roll that out eventually. But in all honesty, there's no need for a story. There's no need for any of that because you literally can just post your stuff right then and there. So yeah, I believe Tumblr deserves a second chance. And honestly, as far as the situation with, you know, that community goes, I have to say that to my knowledge, the situation has been fixed. But not only that, not saying that we should just sweep it under the rug, because I still look at them a little sideways because of that. But unfortunately, almost every single social media app that we use has had that problem at least once. I've just never seen it so carelessly be taken care of until that situation. But nonetheless, unfortunately, every single app has had that issue at least once or twice. Once again, not saying we should sweep it under the rug, but in all honesty, just take that into consideration. I know that's uncomfortable, but like seriously, just take that into consideration. So yeah, in a nutshell, that is why I feel like Tumblr deserves a second chance. Now, like I said, I don't really care if you want to or not. This is not supposed to be propaganda. I'm not getting paid to say this. However, I can. But no, in all seriousness, I'm not getting paid to say this. This is not sponsored. This is literally just me saying what I felt need to be said, voicing my opinion, just having a little bit of fun. But at the end of the day, it is your choice and your choice only. So with that being said, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Please like this video, and don't forget, let me know in the comments, do you still have your Tumblr? Do you still use your Tumblr? Do you think you're gonna make a Tumblr? Like, what are you thinking right now? Did your shoelaces come from the president? Yeah, did they? I see. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video if you can. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. What you want, 'cause your love is all